episode 2 of Tier E. And, well, we have Black Hat County, and then we've basically got the Italian swing. It's 6 consecutive races in Italy. Gee, it's almost like this game is made by an Italian company or something. Okay, so you can see the points there. Travis is the points leader by 6. And top 5 are all within first place points of the points lead. Like, that's of course assuming Travis scores nothing, but I find that unlikely. We're now here on the starting grid for Black Cat County. Forgot the name for a second. And, well, this bodes quite well for Travis. Starting second, he's only got to pass one car, and I can't fathom have too many problems doing that, considering it's a GTR. Darn it. Oh, GTR does take off better, and so does that McLaren, so an inconvenience has occurred. This is going to be an interesting course to pass on because most GT3 cars have a pretty similar top speed of about 170 to 175. Not many cross over 180. I don't think anybody, I think everybody can get 165, so overtaking here and at the Highlands will be an interesting concept because the cars have pretty homogeneous top speeds. I mean, yeah, they're not exactly the same as Travis's overtaking Hikari. They're not exactly the same, but they're all pretty close, and they don't make a massive difference. Plus, they take a while to get to them. Well, Taylor had a problem. I don't know what on earth that was. She's lost a lot of time. Not them. And Wayne up there did the same thing, but he recovered a lot better. Taylor just lost it altogether. It's apparently so the Lamborghinis don't like being too wide here because, well, Nittery didn't do it, and she's in a Lamborghini. She managed to avoid that wall, and Thrasher didn't do it, despite being in an SLS too wide with somebody else. He didn't hit it either, so that's apparently just a Lamborghini thing. What was that line? Quite an interesting comparison, comparing the kind of workload of Time Loop compared to this series. Time Loop was only a half-an-hour episode, and no editing, so I just went straight to rendering and uploading, which took about 8-9 minutes on average. So in a perfect world, it would be a 40-minute recording session, minus the loading screen, which actually turns it closer to 50 on its own. It's like 46, 47. So we'll say 50 for simplicity's sake. A 50-minute recording session, like 50 minutes of being able to do nothing else in an average episode of Time Loop. Universe Zero was considerably longer. The episodes were about 45 minutes because they weren't structured too differently from this, other than the fact that it was 3 races per episode and not 4. Now I'm making longer videos, and I know that I can fit 4. Like, I haven't failed yet, so I'm going to assume that I can just always be able to do that. However, in neither universe, so Universe Zero would have been, so yeah, 45-minute recording session. I didn't edit out the loading screens back then either, so those could have been like 40-minute videos, but 45-minute episode or recording time. No editing then either, so it was another, then it'd be like 12 minutes to upload it, so that'd be like almost an hour lost. But in the case of Time Loop, that 40 minutes is half an hour of that is actual gameplay. I have to put effort in, I have to be, drive competently to create a good episode. Unlike here, where I just let the gameplay itself for 10 to 15 minutes at a time. Meanwhile, then in this series, editing out loading screen, so it's about an hour and 5 minutes of total time spent on the game. And then editing, which can take roughly 10 minutes. And then I have to render it and then upload it separately. I have to render it on Share Factory and then upload it on the PlayStation. Rendering takes about like 20 minutes almost. If we assume it's like a 55-minute video, rendering's going to take almost 20. So, in reality, we're already at an hour and a half, and the video is not even up yet. I still have to upload it, and that takes longer still because it's almost an hour long, so it's a 20-minute rendering. So recording an episode of this takes like an hour and 45 minutes. From game start to video creation. Also, I was totally talking over the fact that Travis just took the lead. And Miyako's taken third. This is probably, well, by far her best performance. Apparently the Z4 has really got it in a straight line. Naturally aspirated car probably help a little bit. And the fact that it's an 8-cylinder. Not that there aren't other ones of those, but a lot of them here are V6s. The Audi R8 thinks it's special, and it's got a V10, but Also, John Garrison started in 11th, and he is now into 5th. He's second in points to Travis, tied with somebody else. I do not remember who. Oh yeah, it's, I think it's James, who's in 8th. So I do not think Ryan will be catching back up to him in this race. Now Garrison has passed Hikari, I think. Yeah. See, for this last lap, I'm gonna try and describe another character. Let's see. I already went for Gina, I already went over him. Shardry's not in this race. Natsuki's not in this race. I think I've already gotten, no, I haven't actually gotten over it. I think those are the only ones I've gotten over in the first page. That person's not here. These two aren't even going to be in this. Now, Schwartz isn't here. I feel like I've gone over him before. So now I think it'd be down to Riley, who's fighting to take 10th away from Thrasher, and she's got a bit of damage. I can speak. Oh, block. Clumsy, shy, gullible, and flighty. You might think I just described a cartoon character, but that's actually just how Riley can be. Nicknamed Spiral from her ballet days back in elementary school. She was seen as a kind of confusing person. She's being passed by Hitori in the background. She was seen as a very unusual person. She's nice, but to actually have a meaningful conversation with her for more than about 90 seconds could be a major accomplishment. There were a few places, however, where her focus could take center stage. English tests, dance halls, and now for the last couple of years, in the driver's seat. She views dancing as an advanced form of dancing. Spinning around is how you succeed in ballet, but it's definitely not how you succeed in racing. And she's been passed again. It's not really unbased, but it's still weird. Now that she's 18, she's going to attempt to take her driving career much further than she took her dancing career. And while she's easy to use, she will use any kind of car to go the distance, but she will typically resort to a Corvette. This is a hot take here, but I kind of feel like when everything in this series is said and done, I think it'll be kind of hard to contest the idea that Travis Wilde will end up being one of the most successful drivers in this series. He's got a championship in which he won multiple rounds. He won a couple of rounds in the previous tier, and now he's leading this championship with 2 wins, I think. And we're only through 5 races. And he's going to have a points lead of upwards of 10. Now mind you, Dedrick had a much bigger lead by around round 5 or 6. And then he almost lost that championship, so like, it's not guaranteed, mind you, but it's still pretty secure, as he's gonna go on and obviously win. Ryan Wolf will take 2nd. Yanko's gonna try and hold the podium spot away from John Garrison. Only got 2 more turns to go. And I think she's got it. She's got a pretty good takeoff there. Yeah, she does. It appears though Cam will end up taking 5th in this really oddly spread out race. Hitori stole one championship point at the end of the race. And even from back there, Taylor was not running the fastest laps. Probably a bit of aero damage to her car. Really didn't allow that. If her car wasn't damaged, it's a maybe. But Travis and Ryan Wolf were in another league in this one. Alright, and now we move to Mugello. Points lead of 13 for Travis. Still over John. It was actually Diedrich that was tied with John. James had 31. Now James has 33. Diedrich scored nothing. And it is Garrison in a definitive 2nd in points. At Mugello we are located. I don't know why I'm Yoda suddenly, but here we are. It actually started as me kind of saying things in the wrong order, and I was just like, alright, forget it, Star Wars joke, why not? Anyway. Yeah, the starting grid of Mugello, now that I'm, you know, not in a galaxy far, far away. And Travis is starting 8th. Garrison is starting 6th, so he may lose a couple of points here. Keyword he might. He may, he is, it's possible that he will. James Stillwell, however, is not. able to he's probably not going, well, don't never say never, but he doesn't start in the points positions, so I wouldn't exactly guarantee it. Nor is Ryan. I know he was kind of there, kind of. Eric is also kind of relevant, but not by much, and he's also 13th, so this would be good for Nitori, though, who a race win could get her into the top 3 or 4 in points, I think. Oh yeah, that's not Cam, that's Miyako. And gets a great launch. And that will take her past Thrasher before we even hit the first turn. Eric's made up 2 places, possibly more. They are 3 wide into the S's. The F1 Grand Prix told us it doesn't work very well, and yet Dietrich doesn't care, he'll make up 2 more places. Okay. Travis fighting to remain where he started, and he will lose that. John also lost a place to his fellow Corvette driver. Ah! Everybody's got caught underneath my foot, and I about yeeted them right out of my head. So that's soon going to be the first time I've done that. As, I think we're going to get a bit of a Thrasher train going, as Thrasher is preventing Cam from sticking with the top 2. I'm sure it's exactly what Nitori and Miyako want to see. Yeah, that's the Japanese 1, 2, 5. Yeah, 5. As I get us, Riley, yeah, Riley sent it on Yoshiro, so maybe a 1, 2, 6, 15 in a moment. Yep. Cam's gonna set up a pass. If there was any part of the track that I expected the SLS to remain competitive at, I thought it would be able to keep up on the straightaways, but I don't know, it actually seems to be better at cornering. Better just maybe Cam isn't good at cornering. I mean, it is an Audi R8, so I wouldn't really blame him. As, not a good day for the Nismos. I feel some sense of vindication here, as I had been saying this entire time, that the GTR is possibly the worst GT3 car available, and yes, it looks like it right now, that's to say the least. Apparently Garrison's fallen off the pace. As he has been overtaken by Travis, which is the last thing that he needs to see right now. And he definitely doesn't want him scoring any more points. Apparently, Garrison knows this, and he's going to try and pass on the outside. I don't really think you have the facilities for that, big man. Well, he almost had it. He has to be quicker than that. He certainly got a lot further than I expected him to, as far as that goes, so... Rami just about misses. Pretty much does miss that corner. I'm surprised Yoshiro didn't send it. Cam will try again, as Miyako I thought had a run on Nitori based on the time split, but no. She doesn't, and Nitori breaks defensively to prevent anything from happening. Meanwhile, previously at the corner, or next at the corner, and Cam might actually make the move this time. And yes, he will. Does he actually get away, though? That's the important thing. Does he actually pull ahead of the Mercedes, or is he just kind of... did he use himself up too much trying to get by? As with the exception of between second and third, unsurprisingly, every single car is within a second of the one behind it. point 2, point 1, point 3, point 3, point 2, point 4, point 6, point 3, point 3, point 2, point 5, point 3, point 7. So in other words, we've got a conga line going, and that's never good. Certainly, at least, never good for entertainment value. Trying to analyze the two vehicles here and figure out which one's better in what scenario. As yes, Cam is definitely getting away from everybody else. I certainly don't think he'll be able to catch the front two, but he'll definitely claim himself. He'll secure the podium spot for sure. As now Thrasher's getting double attacked. They're gonna go 3 wide? Nope, Thrasher blocks off Riley. And Yoshiro is going to miss the exit of that corner, netting Thrasher 4th place once again. Travis and Garrison have not made the progress that I had thought they would. Well, I then realized I don't have enough time to tell any other descriptions because, well, things are getting weird here. Yoshiro was passed by Riley on the straightaway, and so in defense, she has to then dive it on Thrasher instead. Talk about projecting. Cam's running about the same pace as the front cars. As Travis has overtaken Riley, apparently. I don't know how that... Oh, actually, no, I do know how that probably took place. She probably missed the corner after dealing with Thrasher. Or trying to, at the very least, and then not doing so. I didn't even notice Yoshiro got ahead of Thrasher and all that mess. Within the S's, Garrison will take 7th away from the other Corvette driver. Travis will have one corner and one more corner, one more straightaway to overtake Thrasher. I don't think he got the exit for it. No. If there were another lap, I also kind of feel like he's probably going to put himself in the grass on the corner exit. Yoshiro was the fastest on track, so as soon as she finally got unchained, she was fast, but it was a day late and a dollar short. Also, apparently Travis didn't miss the corner, and he would probably end up taking the... No, he wouldn't. It will just keep racing around, by the way. If I just kind of sit here forever, they'll never, like, stop going. Asher just keeps getting his nose in there. It doesn't even matter, the race is over. But, like, it's just funny to me that Travis would eventually take it away. And now on to Monza. This Travis opens up his points lead by 1 more point to make it 14. Hattori is now only 20 back from him, now reaching 3rd in points. I think this is a little bit rigged for Ferrari as they lock out the front row. Certainly can't do that in F1 anymore. Insert sitcom laugh track. Making fun of Ferrari, it's the low-hanging fruit that everyone loves to eat. At least everyone that's an F1 fan nowadays. At any rate, Travis and Garrison start on the same row. Garrison needs to probably make good on his escape plan from the starting grid if he hopes to even remotely make that gap smaller between him and Travis. And the Corvette is stronger in a straight line than the Porsche, I do believe, so this is a track to do it at. And as much progress as Hattori made on making her way towards the title fight, now she starts 12th, and that's probably going to be halted. Garrison seems to have gotten a good launch, but nowhere to go, because Yoshiro and Eric are dead even. Surprisingly, Travis does not send it. Nobody does. Yoshiro's running off, and Garrison's going to try and go on the outside of Eric. I don't think that'll produce anything that Garrison plans to achieve. He is going to send it though and force Eric almost off the track, and that'll be John's own undoing. Losing out to Travis and possibly even to what I assume to be Ryan Wolf. Yes. And he'll make a pass too. Garrison keeps the front bumper there, and he's going to go on the outside because Ryan just about spun there. The 2 Mercedes are going to drag race down towards Variante Ascari. Meanwhile, Eric is defending 3rd from Travis. Nope, that's 2nd. I'm blind, and he's going to also fail. Thrasher will win the Battle of the Mercs. And along comes Cam to reap the benefits of Diedrich losing that fight. John also overtook Eric following his mistake in through Ascari, and Eric seems to want it back. They're dead even at the braking zone. More contact. I don't blame him, to be honest. Garrison just about spiked him in the first lap. But nothing. This Thrasher has now caught Ryan Wolf. Trying to do things out of order. I'm trying to page down before I'm even on the page, so I'm just sitting here pressing R1 repeatedly and nothing's happening. Gee, I don't know why that would be, Riker. I've certainly seen more entertaining Monza races than this before. And no one's really close to each other right now, so it's kind of like bleh. Ryan's kind of close to Eric, but not really. Cam is kind of close to Thrasher, but not really. And that's kind of what a lot of the field is right now. Kind of close, but not really. I think the closest cars are going to be Thrasher and Cam as we start lap 3. Yoshiro has a 4-second lead. Okay, I think it's on to the next character bio. Let's see here. Next, I guess, would probably be... Nope. That person's not to have gone over Travis, considering he's won a championship. I think I'm gonna just go over it again just to be sure, considering he is the points leader. Travis is the best friend of Eric and also the ultimate personality foil to Eric. For every bit of calm and calculating that Eric is, Travis is equally outlandish and extreme in everything he does on or off the track. Interestingly, we've kind of seen the opposite of that here in Town series so far. Travis is the son of Kurt Wilde, a legendary driver in many disciplines, including GP racing, NASCAR, and participating in the World Race. Of course, Travis's extreme tendencies have already led him to some unfortunate affairs, such as breaking his county's record speeding ticket of 167 miles an hour in his 2001 Porsche. Travis, being Travis, obviously had to declare that he could go faster than that if he wanted to. To even Travis's own surprise, his extreme aggression hasn't yet led him to end up in a major accident. And the last character on the list, oh, this is a cluster. What the world is going on? I think I might know what's going on here. Gee, how did I know? It's another Thrasher train. I haven't seen this before, but anyway, the only other driver on the list that's in this event with a description is Miyako. Miyako is what many in her school believed was the prettiest girl in it. She'd even won a beauty pageant a couple years ago. And yet, she doesn't really say anything about it, so she also became one of the more popular ones, too. So with her future bright, it's most assumed that she would fall for a successful guy, like the high school quarterback, like you'd predict would happen. Nah, turns out she fell in love with the exchange kid instead. And that would also be Eric. Turns out, Eric would be successful anyways. Also turns out, Miyako would follow him up the racing ladder too. She particularly likes roadsters and loves BMW and the Z models, which is often attributed to her hair blowing in the wind. Miyako and Eric were born in the same year, 1998, but her birthday is in March, Eric is in July, so for 4 months of the year she gets to teach of his better racing stats, so they usually reach the impasse, go silent, and then move on. Some of the more stuck in the mud type characters in the challenge series criticize her as just being the basic high school popular girl that you read about in pretty much any high school paper or what have you. Obviously the stereotype has to exist for a reason, you know? And Cam is finally on. I'm getting deja vu here, you know? Once again, Cam has managed to overtake Thrasher. Garrison is back up to Travis. And I don't know where he's been lingering. I don't know if he's been here this whole time or what. I have not been paying attention. I'm too busy reading, because these are all just things I have written down for future reference. Just to kind of give a bit of insight on who these drivers are off the track, since obviously I can't exactly build characters in Assetto Corsa other than what I just, other than just hearsay. So I guess we may have a last lap battle here, as Garrison is basically fighting to be within one race worth of points. If he passes Travis here, he'll bring the gap down to 12. If Travis wins, or if Travis beats him, however, it'll be up to 16, and that would be more than a full race worth of points between the two, and that's no good. John thinks he's got the run down the front straightaway. I mean, he certainly does. Not much denying it at this point. Travis going to brake very aggressively, as you can imagine. They do not collide. And I think that might have been Garrison's only chance. And he lost so much time on exit that I don't really think he's going to get another one. The great Thrasher training of 2020 continues between anywhere from 7th to 15th is basically in it. Exiting the final turn, Yoshiro Casquette is going to take her first time series victory, to the excitement of everyone in the stands, which is also nobody in the stands, I don't think. There's a few people in the bleachers there. So they're fans, but they're not in the grandstand for whatever dumb reason. Travis will maintain second, and pretty much divorce the entire rest of the championship from everybody else, as, Nidori, who was the next closest driver behind that, doesn't score anything. Ay. So yeah, 16 between Travis and Garrison, and then 16 more between Garrison and Nitori. And then Eric is close to Nitori, and then it's, a more gradual slope from there, I suppose would be one way to say it. Everyone's got over 10 points, even though Thrasher's got 2 points finishes, which is certainly better than his previous episode. He's still last in points because everybody else keeps getting them too. Everyone keeps sharing the wealth. Now we have the full Monza circuit, so this includes the banked oval as well. This is going to be an interesting race, to say the least. We'll still need to know who's the fastest car by like lap 1 or 2, by the end of lap 1 probably. So it may become boring near the end, because the track is so long, and it is so dependent on, wow, that's some weather, great. It is very dependent on top speed. You're at the starting grid for Classic Monza. I don't know why the camera faces away from everybody, but okay. Yeah, Travis is looking okay to get further ahead in points, which is grand. Literally his biggest threat is Eric. That's not good, because Eric is 33 points away from him in the standings, and only starts 2 places ahead. Yikes. Travis didn't get off the line too well, so I don't know. I don't need to spectate myself. I'm not doing anything. Or at least my car's not. It's John and John are too wide. My throat is displeased with me. Miyako looking for the lead, maybe on James, but that's one thing the Nissan does have, is it has that big, meaty power in a straight line. It's just not very good anywhere else on the track, and I will actually get to see the top speeds of each car. I am totally wrong, the GT3 Huracan can get nearly 185. What the heck? I do not remember that. Okay, so Lamborghinis might be in pretty good shape to do well here, if that's the case. As you can see, Taylor has passed Riley. And I was gonna say, don't give it too long, Ittori will be making up her own places too. Motion sickness warning. This isn't pleasant on the ice. The fog may actually be of some benefit, like not so much. There's not, you know, so much of it to process. 2 Ferraris too wide for 9th. And I'm sure Wayne is in the next county by now. Yeah, he's way ahead of the other front 2 cars. As Taylor will also be catching them as a bug flies in my face. And Riley said something. Corvette also capable of 180. Or not. 178. The Audi's hitting 180 as well. Turi only 10th, and I guess the draft got Wayne so high, as Eric is out of here. He almost saved that, but then spun across the track and took out Diedrich Hammer. Wrong one. So you can see him up there, he goes wide, but Diedrich is also about to do the same thing, so I think actually both spun, yeah, neither one actually, like I thought he collected Diedrich. No, Diedrich just messed himself up at the same time as Eric was. He tried to go too wide with Yoshiro. Definitely went too wide, to say the least, like in a literal sense. And he was Kansei drifting like a madman there. Gets a little bit of John, but that's not really exactly massive. And I think Eric may be out of this one. Hammer will manage to continue onward, for what it's worth, but I don't think Eric will be able to. No. Miyako's hit something, I don't know what. Probably James, I'd imagine. Notori's got quite a bit of ground to make up if she is to try and get any further points. This is a track I figured the Porsche would suffer at, but apparently this is not the case. Taylor is now in 3rd, looking for 2nd. Oh, this must be real fun to be in the driver's seat for this one. Oh yeah, this looks not very fun to me. Oh! Hi, Taylor. You just see them drive by. I did not realize the cam had the R8 had the top speed like this. Victoria's still not advanced her position any. The next target would be Travis, which will not be an easy pass to make, especially considering the time allowance. I also really forgot how quickly this track went by. This is going to be a very short race. This won't even be 10 minutes. Maybe like 8. An 8-minute race would be like a 9-10 minute clip because of the replay. To Nitori's benefit, James is creating the train, slowing up Yoshiro, Riley, and Travis, allowing her to get closer so that she can strike once we reach the oval. She'd better strike well, because she has any hope of catching up in points. She needs to, well, you know, be ahead of Travis. Well, Travis doing that will certainly help Nitori be ahead of Travis. We'll just now get to see just how much that Porsche suffers in a straight line. As we begin the oval section, Wayne already almost on the back stretch of the oval. Taylor honestly not that far away from him, considering how much later she got into second. James getting eaten alive, Yoshiro with the slowing her down much. Here goes Nitori for 8th place, but I think that may be her limit unless she gets James like pretty much at the line. Well, apparently it's Riley. It will be James in a second, though. Riley pushing him down the track. I don't think she's going to get him at the line. Although the line is pretty far down, but no. Another lap, and Taylor may have actually just straight up caught Wayne. Honestly, the race should have been another lap, had I actually remembered how long a lap was here. Laps here are shorter than they are at Black Hat County or Highlands, which I did not remember that being the case. And so yeah, that is going to be it for this episode of Challenge Series. Travis further improves his lead. It is now 17 points over second. And then it's 14 more to third with Nitori. Yoshiro is kind of the power creep in this one, and she's up to 4th in points at 39, and then it's a 3-way tie for third between Miyako, her boyfriend Eric, and then James, who scored a grand total of 6 points during this whole episode. And then poor Ryan Wolf. I don't think he scored anything in this episode. If he did, he didn't score much.